Today we're going to talk about why PCOS is likely affecting your fertility and causing infertility. Hi everyone, I am Mara Salerno, Functional Diagnostic Nutrition Practitioner of ReclaimOptimalHealth.com, where I help couples just like you resolve their infertility and get back to creating those families you so deeply desire. Before we start, please click on that subscribe link button down below so that you get a notification every week when I post these videos every Friday. And please like and share the video. I also invite you to join me on Instagram. I am at Mara Salerno, and you can find me there daily posting valuable functional fertility content, as well as I'm available there to you to answer your questions, hear your story, and just connect with you. So please do join me there. So PCOS is polycystic ovarian syndrome. And I want to talk about today why it really impacts fertility or causes infertility, if you will. It really influences it. And we know that PCOS is really a hormonal imbalance issue, and it's a hormonal imbalance issue all the way to some very core glands in the body. Now, there are many glands in the body that are affected by PCOS and that also contribute to your hormonal imbalances, but there's three in particular that I find with clients really create some trouble and I think really influence and impact women's infertility particularly. So those three glands are the pituitary gland in the brain, the thyroid gland, and then the adrenal gland, which sits just right above the kidney. Now, I'm going to talk about these glands and then I'm going to connect it all towards why this impacts fertility, okay? So stick with me here. Now, the brain, it's a signaler, right? And it's the one that perceives stress. And if we no longer run from a tiger anymore, right? So if you experience a stressful situation like maybe traffic or a conflict with another person, or maybe you're late or whatever it may be that is a little bit stressful, right? Your pituitary gland recognizes that and sends a signal down to your adrenals. And your adrenals are actually the ones that produce and release cortisol into your body. So the brain signals the adrenals begin releasing cortisol, your stress hormone, through your body. Now, in a normal stress response, what will happen is this cortisol will move through you, and after some minutes, your body and your brain will be ready to have it shut off. That's proper stress management. So then your brain will signal the adrenals and say, hey, can you please shut off that valve? We don't need any more cortisol. The adrenals will listen, and then you're done with that stress response. What happens though is that many of you and many of us in our modern day society are experiencing rapid stress signaling, okay? Because we are overwhelmed. Maybe you are a parent already and you're experiencing secondary infertility. Maybe infertility itself is very stressful. You've got a stressful job. You feel rushed. You've got anxiety and panic and depression. Maybe what's going on with the pandemic as well is influencing your sense of stress. And so it's just stress all day long, back to back to back to back. Now, when this happens, your brain is constantly signaling cortisol to move through your body, and that's putting you through a chronic stress response, okay? Now, this is a big deal because you're not having an acute stress response where that's shutting off. And what we know about the stress hormone cortisol is it literally breaks your body down, which is an inflammatory response. And we know that stress and inflammation are the #1 cause of infertility, okay? And I actually have a guide on this. I'll put it down in the description box for you guys. Please do pick it up. I go into great lengths to help educate you so you can be empowered on this journey, okay? Now, when this keeps happening, your body will no longer be able to manage stress, and you're being that chronic stress response, which means that you are in a fight or flight state. You are constantly running from the tiger, even though you're just late for an appointment, or you've got a lot of stuff going on at work, or you just got a lot of things to do for your family, or you've got a bad relationship tie going on, right? So now what's happening is your body is constantly in fight or flight. And when you are in fight or flight, your uterus is contracted, okay? Your ovaries are contracted. When those organs are contracted, your body does not feel safe enough to procreate, bar none, okay? Physiologically, biologically, we know this happens. So you can see why stress would be the #1 cause of infertility. And it's not just mental, emotional, and spiritual stress, but it could be chronic pain in your body doing this. It could also be biochemical stressors like gut infections and heavy metals and food sensitivities. All of those will also program your brain to do the same thing and impact your PCOS and increase infertility in your body, okay? So you can see the pituitary influence, the adrenal influence on PCOS and infertility. Now, the other gland that I mentioned was your thyroid, okay? So your thyroid is really a master regulator, and it is a master regulator of your hormones, but also of your muscles and your heart and your bones. It regulates so many things, and what talks to the thyroid is actually the pituitary gland and the hypothalamus as well, but the pituitary gland. So you can see why getting the signal in your brain is so absolutely crucial, okay? So the two things I just wanted to give you in today's video and how you can impact your brain so much is #1, meditation, and #2, pranayama or breath work. And in that guide I mentioned, I actually go through great lengths to give you a really awesome breath work technique to follow that you can use daily. And if you can actually use it when you're in a stress state, it will actually help to recircuit the way your brain processes stress so that you're not going into a chronic stress state anytime something challenging is coming up for you, okay? And then meditation, of course, is going to help you learn how to just manage the emotions that come with life. Life is stressful, right? So, with PCOS, it's really important to acknowledge these 3 core organs and give them support and nourishment and investigation. So when I'm looking at women with PCOS, obviously I like to run a salivary and a urine test, which is the Dutch. You may have heard of it. This is going to help me also look at your androgen levels as well. But I also recommend that women also run a comprehensive thyroid panel. I have a video on this as well, which I'll link to in the description box. And then of course, running a stool sample to check out what's going on in your gut, because your gut influences how you detox hormones, for example. And taking a look at food sensitivities and heavy metals and the like, so that we can really identify what your unique stressors are, what is really contributing to your PCOS and in turn your infertility, remove them, reduce them, boost you up, and help you fall pregnant naturally, have a great pregnancy, and bring your baby into the world, okay? So I hope this video was helpful for you all. If you have any questions for me, please feel free to reach out. I love to hear from you. I love to answer your questions. And until next time, I'll see you guys then. Bye-bye.